Hello everyone, I'm starting up the VTubing yet again. It's been a year since I released that video in these woods talking about meta. So today I want to really touch on my gratitude and appreciation of bhikkhu buddhadasa and also those who were trained under bhikkhu buddhadasa like Ajahn Po and Dhammarato, because without them I don't think I would have developed the skill to be able to chill out to the extent that I do, where I am able to come back to just chilling in this moment. So, and for others as well, they've done a great deal of good in the world. So I'm going to start off by reading a thing that Bhikkhu Buddhadasa likes to put at the beginning of the different books. And so it says, "To all Dhamma comrades, those helping to spread the Dhamma, break out the funds to spread Dhamma and to let faithful trust flow. Broadcast majestic Dhamma to radiate long living joy. Release unexcelled Dhamma to tap the spring of virtue. Let safe, peaceful delight flow like a cool mountain stream. Dhamma leaves of many years sprouting anew, reaching out to unfold and to bloom in the Dhamma centers of all towns, to spread the lustrous Dhamma in the hearts glorified planted. Before long, weeds of sorrow, pain, and affliction will flee, as virtue revives and resounds throughout Thai society. All hearts feel a certain love towards those who born, aging, and dying. Congratulations and blessings to all Dhamma comrades." So I'm just going to stop it there. But yeah, that's a really nice quote from Bhikkhu Buddhadasa that he has included in many of his books. And one of the books that I'm going to talk about too is Nibbana for Everyone. So one of the things that Bhikkhu Buddhadasa really did was break the whole thing of you have to be a long-time practitioner. You have to be a monk in order to have access to the Noble Dhamma. And what is the Noble Dhamma? Well, the Noble Dhamma is the Dhamma that's not so much concerned with superstition or getting far out their powers or past lives even. What it's concerned about is ending dissatisfaction or suffering here and now. And Bhikkhu Buddhadasa got in trouble for teaching this Dhamma to the wrong people, apparently. In Thailand there, and there was a Sangha Dasesa, which is one day there's a break in the Sangha, but thankfully there was enough noble people on board that Bhikkhu Buddhadasa was still able to stay a bhikkhu, and they which is like a monk, and it's been really cool. And so he's a pretty prominent figure, and what's really nice is that he taught my teacher, or as he would like to put it, Dhammarato, wise friend, right? You have wise friends who know the way. You don't need to get so caught up into a guru complex, but rather just think you have a wise friend who knows the way, and you can be grateful for that. It's really nice. But yeah, Dhammarato, he went all over the place, and there's a really good interview with him and Guru Viking where he talks about, he went all over the place, but he knew he found the right thing. He knew he was at home when he arrived at Bhikkhu Buddhadasa's Wat, so that's kind of like a temple. And he said, he arrived home there. That was the place where he knew it. And and Ajahn Po, which was also taught by Bhikkhu Buddhadasa, actually encouraged Dhammarato to teach online for free, right? And so this is the thing about the true Dhamma. The true Noble Dhamma, you don't put a price tag on it. It's transmitted for free. If people want to donate, that's cool. Like, if people want to have that thing of generosity, fine. But, really in its purest form, you shouldn't be charging people for it. It should be open. It should be free. And again, coming back to Nibbana for everyone. This isn't something that you have to necessarily ordain to realize, and Nibbana is a real thing, right? It's real. It's cooling off. And actually, it's funny because it's not really a thing that we pinpoint down, but it is cooling off. There is a coolness to it that comes. Coolness arises when we chill out and we drop our burdens, we drop our worries. And it's something which is accessible. All you need to do is get into seclusion, right? And train those skills. You can realize a Nibbana moment right now. You know, if you come back to your breath and inhale and just, you know, enjoy that. And then just as you exhale, you can let go of all the burdens, all the carriers, all the worries, and just chill, you know. But the thing is, the mind will come up with a million excuses why it can't do that. And so this is part of the training. This is part of the practice, is to change from the unwholesome to the wholesome. So we develop these skills again and again to remember, to take a look and make a change and come back to just chilling out here and now. So yeah, that's like a little introduction there to this. And again, my sincerest gratitude to Bhikkhu Buddhadasa, to Ajahn Po, to Dhammarato, and all the members of the Sangha. I will say this too, if you are interested in learning or developing the skills of being able to chill out here and now, and, you know, we have a community for that. There's the Dhamma Friends Discord. There is also, you know, the Skype groups that we have. You can check out Dhammarato's channel. There's a lot of really good resources there. And also, there's the Open Sangha Foundation, which is something that's being started up. So with Dhammarato and friends, where it's a kind of like a Buddhist Facebook networking thing, but it's to help make connections. So people can connect with local Watson temples, or Dhamma teachers can connect with each other, you know, and we share resources there, right? So, but it's all meant to be open and free. You can donate it to it, and their idea is partially with the donations is to help people who want to become a Dhamma teacher be able to chill out at a Wat for a little bit, and they have just enough money for like the little necessities that they need, and they can go and get a real cool education there on Dhamma. So I think that's a really good idea, because a lot of the thing, like what Open Sangha is trying to address is kind of the issues with Western Buddhism, and it does tend to sometimes get very money oriented. So it's kind of coming back to that. And by Western Buddhism, I really mean like anything which was introduced like later, right? So, but there can be a real money aspect to it. Like, you know, you got to spend $700 for a meditation teacher. Okay. So that's not really in the true spirit of Dhamma. It should be done out of generosity. And, you know, also, if one, you know, donations are cool. And this is one of those things where the donations are like going to help folks who want to spend time, you know, working on this. But again, don't sweat it if you can't donate or anything like that. I mean, that's the point, right? So yeah, and I'm doing these videos to kind of, I think it's a good avenue to be able to share this Dhamma in perhaps a different way, and then also in a way that maybe, you know, people who might not have been introduced to it, not had that opportunity, have a chance to be like, hey, I want to go and practice this. So I'm coming back to these videos and kind of doing the things the way that I'm doing it, because that's my contribution to the Dhamma. And Bhikkhu Buddhadasa talked about this. He talked about, you know, one's duty to the Dhamma. So when it comes to Dhamma, like, what is Dhamma, right? So Dhamma, Bhikkhu Buddhadasa says, is nature itself, right? And then it's the law of nature. Then it's the duty one has to that law. And then it's the fruits and benefits that one gets from following that, right? So that's kind of summing up Dhamma. It's partially considered the teachings of the Buddha, but it really encompasses everything, because in another way it can be considered objects. So Dhamma is a very broad word, but and I really think that part with Bhikkhu Buddhadasa sums it up so nice. The way I would do it is say, yeah, it's like reality itself, right? It's the way that reality functions. It's the benefits that we get when we live in accord with the way that reality functions, right? So that there is benefits to it, right? So, and this is the thing, because when we understand the Four Noble Truths, and it all comes back to this, really. There is dukkha, which is dissatisfaction and suffering, and there's the end of dukkha, which is the end of dissatisfaction and suffering. Then we understand, okay, what gives rise to this, and then also how we can alleviate dukkha or put an end to it. So, these are the Four Noble Truths. I laid them out in a slightly different order, but it all comes back to this: dissatisfaction and the end of dissatisfaction. That's the Noble Dhamma, and when one sees this, they understand how much of a treasure it truly is. So if you get some benefit out of this, that's great. Thank you so much for listening and for tuning in. And yeah, check out some of the resources below. I will keep uploading these videos, and I might also do some with like the Witch Thief game, because I think that's a good one too, also. So again, thank you all so much for listening in, and you got this. You can do this. All right, we're all in this together. Peace out, folks.